What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. I'm sure many of you are aware of what happened last night at the Oscars. It's been the talk of the town. Now, whether it's a show, it's real or not, doesn't matter. There's a lot of things that I can say about this that I'm not going to say. But one thing I will say is when you see this, you see where our morality lies and where people are siding with this thing. Our society has degraded morally. And there's a lot I can say about Will Smith and his relationship and all that. But, I'm just going to leave it at that. Here, and I'm just going to say, don't get distracted by this. Focus on what's really happening. No one could give two craps about that because at the end of the day, that means nothing to your life. What means something to your life is what's happening with these shortages, supply chain breakdowns, etc., that are going to literally leave people in poverty and hunger. And I think it's important to note that even if, let's say, the price of your house, the price of your goods goes up, of your investments goes up, what good does it do to have all that money if the supply or the supplies are not available, right? There's short supply of goods. Yeah, sure. You can have all that money to buy whatever you want, but at the end of the day, there's not enough of it. And it's not guaranteed that you'll get your hands on it, so you're stuck with that money. So you're in essence poor. You see what I mean? Here is a tweet by Jim Bianco. He said 82% of new cars sell for greater than the sticker price. 0.3% did 2 years ago. More than 50% of homes sell above listing price. 20% pre-pandemic. 17 days to sell a house? 90 plus days a decade ago. 11.25 million open jobs? 6.25 million unemployed. He says, never seen anything like this before, and we're at 40-year high in inflation. He said that this post-pandemic economy is radically different from the pre-pandemic one. Most econ analysis explains how things worked in 2019, not going back there. Need to explain how it works now. The economic event of our lives shutting down the economy for a year, a lot has changed. And that's that. Now, to end this, I want to play a video, a clip. And I think this is greater than anything we can ever talk about. And this is the Kansas City Chiefs kicker, Harrison Butker, one of the best kickers in the NFL. And just like the title said, he was willing to retire, then compromise his morals and get the medicine. And his testimony is strong. And I think, whether he has higher status and makes more money, it doesn't matter. But the hill that we stand on individually really matters. No matter how much money you make, that doesn't matter. It's the stance you take, even when it means being the only one doing it. What does it mean to you? And I hope this clip serves as a reminder of how strong our morals and principles are beyond anything else.
I think the only tough thing was for a lot of players, they felt like they didn't have a choice. It was almost like you have to do these things, you got to follow these protocols, or else you're not going to have a job and you're going to get cut. But, for me, I just felt in my situation, I talked to my wife and I was fully okay with stepping away from football. It was like, I'm going to stick to my principles.
Wow.
I'm not going to compromise. And if this is my last season, then so be it. And I think in some ways I was an example for a lot of the guys, like, wow, maybe I should have stood up a little bit more. Maybe in the future when there's something that's going to come down where I feel like my freedom's getting taken away and I feel like I don't have a voice, well, I can stick up and stand up for what I believe in. Because at the end of the day, football isn't my life. It's my job. I love it. I love kicking. I love the Chiefs. I love playing. But, I'm a child of God and I'm a husband and father, and that comes before playing football. So if I'm ever doing something that I think goes against those first two things, as being a child of God and as being a husband and father, then, I'm prepared to step away and look for another means to provide for the family. So I think a lot of the younger guys, especially who maybe identify as just football as my life, that is who I am, they were the ones that maybe had to compromise on their beliefs just so they could continue doing what they love. And it's a tough thing. I don't know what I would have done if I was in their position as a young Ricky, but being more established in the NFL, I thought I was, I'd kind of seen what the NFL was about. I've been blessed to play 5 seasons, and I know that I'm more than just a football player, and that really helped me kind of stay strong during this whole thing.
So you were ready to leave football. If it came down to it, you said, this is basically like the hill that I'm going to die on. Was that something you expressed to higher-ups at the Kansas City Chiefs, something you talked about with your teammates, or is that something you kind of just kept in with your family? Like, if it gets to this point, this is what I'm going to stay strong on. This is where I'm going to hold the line.
For the most part, I kept it with my family, but I think everyone kind of understood that because, there were a lot of things that I had to do.
Okay. And like you said, he has his principles and morals intact. And like he said, doesn't know what he would have done had he been a young player, right? And sometimes we get caught up with, oh, I'm starting my career, or, oh, this is a great opportunity, but the only thing is this standing in my way. Well, folks, when your freedom to choose is compromised, right? You have to ask yourself, am I willing to sacrifice my principles and morals for this one thing? Yeah, it may seem insignificant at the moment, but is that setting the stage to continue to compromise on other things? And sooner or later, before you know it, you've compromised so far that you don't even have those same principles and morals. Sometimes it's a step-by-step approach. It doesn't have to be all of a sudden where your principles and morals are overturned. It's a little gradual disintegration of your principles. So I hope this video helps serve or helps give you guys a little encouragement, because I know it definitely has for me. And it's a good reminder of why I stick to my principles and my morals, even if that means losing my job, even if that means losing friends, even if that means being disrespected. I know that what I stand on is important to me. And I do believe that at any moment, at any point, God is watching over. And I think that we should be cognizant that our choices do have consequences. Whether we see them in the moment or not, there's consequences. And you got to decide for yourself what it is that you're willing to stand on. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. I hope this served as some encouragement for everyone. And I really want you guys to get as much encouragement as you can and tips from this channel, because times are going to get tough and we're at the beginning of it all. So thank you for watching. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.